Yes, sir, I have got a question.
Yeah, go ahead. But I can't see you.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me.
So I've got a question about how to overcome our match pressure.
Yeah, in module number 5, mental skills, that entire module is based on teaching you how to overcome match pressure. It is a very scientific approach based on a lot of research done in the West. It starts with you understand what match pressure is all about. It is nothing but uh, fear, fight or flight response. It is called as the fight or flight response. Now, this fight or flight response is ingrained in our genes. Genes, as in genes, not in genes. Okay. Uh, so when you try and imagine yourself to be about 2,000, 3,000 years ago, let us imagine that we are sitting outside a cave, okay,
Yes.
and we are roasting something to eat. There's a fire, and we are all wild people, and suddenly from the dark you hear a noise, something like that. So that triggers off the fear of flight response. Mean there is fear, and why that fear of flight response comes is because it has been ingrained in our genes for our survival. Imagine if we both keep sitting and that growl and we just keep listening, and suddenly a big tiger comes and eats both of us. So what happens is in the fight or flight response, you will either, you might pick up a stick or a club to fight, and I may run away. So fight or flight. Flight means running away. Fight means, so it gives this response within us. Now, it has been more than 3,000 years, we have become civilized, but this fight or flight response is still within us. So
Okay,
the
sir.
fight or flight response is, it helps you to survive. If you don't run away or you don't fight, then that animal might kill you. But if you're willing to fight, that animal may run away. Or if you run away, then that animal may not be able to catch you. So this is a survival instinct which is in our genes. Unfortunately, when we come into a match, it gets triggered off. Any time when we feel threatened, anyway, I'll continue. Any time we feel threatened, this fear of the fight or flight response comes. Whenever we are faced with a fear, when we feel a situation where we feel afraid, okay, that is when the fight or flight response surfaces, and you just can't handle it. In shooting, your hand starts shaking, you start sweating, you have butterflies in your stomach, your heartbeat goes up, and whatever you say to yourself, calm down, cool down, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So in that module, fifth module, it gives you the scientific basis, this fight or flight response, why this happens, why the fight or flight response comes, how the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind, how it works, and how we can overcome match pressure. There is a system called as red flags. You have to convert red flags into green flags. Red flag is the first time, supposing someone calls you up and says, Divya, there is a match at Jaipur at this place. So the moment you hear that, oh, you get it. That is a red flag. That is a red flag. Okay, so that is the first red flag. So uske baad, then you go to the match, you say, now I have to prepare. At night when you're thinking about it, oh my God, how am I going to perform? And that heartbeat goes up.
Yes, sir.
That is the second red flag. So like this, there are many red flags all the way till the firing point, till the actual date of the match, till the actual point. There are several red flags. So this system teaches you how to convert one red flag into a green flag.
Yes.
So there is a system of training. It takes a long time, but it is 100% proven. I have converted each and every one of my international shooters. They don't have match fear pressure at all. So you have to you have to do that model number 5.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's already, we have 5 minutes past the
Yes.
starting point. So I'll just stand by. I'm going to start the webinar.
Yes.
Okay. Nice question, Divya. Nice question.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to everyone who is attending. Today's topic, as you all know, is how to shoot a 10. There is a student of mine, a very, very good shooter. In practice, she shoots 575 to 580. Okay. And recently, she is shooting around 560s. So I asked this young lady, I said, do you know how to shoot a 10? So she said, yes, I know how to shoot a 10. Okay. So I sat down behind her and she started shooting. So the first series, 2, 3 nines, and then she started shooting 10s. Excellent. But after some time, after the first series, second series got over, in the third series, she started shooting an 8 and then 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. I said, stop. If you know how to shoot a 10, why are you shooting 9s? So she gave me a very puzzled look. I said, my dear girl, if you really know how to shoot a 10, then you must be able to switch off these 9s and shoot 10s. So that is the same question I want to ask you. If you really know how to shoot a 10, then you should be able to convert the 9s into 10s. If you cannot, then you don't know how to shoot a 10. It's a given fact. If anybody has any question on that, please use your chat box. You should have so much of confidence that you should be able to tell your friends, all right, I'm going to shoot a 10 now. And shoot a 10, not one 10, second 10, third 10, fourth 10. Can you do that? And you can only do that if you really know how to shoot a 10. Now, this is the first video. Please take a look. And this is what a perfect shot looks like. Okay, watch this video. In this video, you saw the sights were perfectly aligned in very sharp focus. The arc of movement was reduced and the trigger operation was continuous even before, during, and after the shot is fired. If you wish to see the perfect shot again, watch it again. This round movement is the trigger operation. Now, please watch the next video and we will discuss exactly what you should be doing, what are the skills that you need to master, and to answer one of Melvin's question, the skills that you need to master to shoot a 10. All right, please watch this next video. Hello friends, now in this video Because as you can see in this video, the moment you start concentrating on the second pull of the trigger, your mind gets diverted to the foresight shaking, and then you wait till your foresight stops shaking, and then you go back to concentrating on your trigger operation. Then it may also happen that your mind gets distracted to the entire sights shaking, as shown in the video. You wait till the sights become steady, and then you go back to concentrating on your trigger operation. Sometimes your mind gets distracted to an improper focus, as shown in the video. And then again you wait so that you get a good focus, and then again you go back to concentrating on the trigger operation. At some times, it can so happen that your mind gets distracted to the arc of movement. So you wait till your arc of movement is reduced, then you go again back to concentrating on your trigger operation. Unfortunately, it gets diverted. The key to shooting a surprise shot and to shoot a 10 is to keep yourself mentally focused on the trigger operation, which means that you must have immense can focus only on one thought at any given point of time. You cannot think of the aiming process and the trigger operation at the same time. So either. So I doubt if anyone has even told you what the aiming process is. And I'm absolutely 100% sure that nobody has told you that you should concentrate only on the trigger. And if you concentrate 100% on trigger operation before, during, and after the shot is fired, only on the squeeze, your shot will definitely go in the 10. That's how you shoot a 10. Any questions, please ask me before I move ahead. And that is why you can only focus on one thing at a time. So it's either the trigger operation or the aiming process. And most of these youngsters, most of y'all who start off shooting, y'all are concentrating on the sights, the focus, and the arc of movement. You're trying to reduce it. So when the sights come into the aiming area, your mind is getting diverted from the trigger to the sights, from the trigger to the sights, from the trigger to the sights. As a result, the trigger freezes. It doesn't break. And you keep on hanging, keep on hanging. When you get fed up and you jerk the shot. Please repeat last line, sir. Okay. What happens is that if you, sir, somebody told me the sight at 6 will get you a 10. Well, keep the sight at 6, keep it at the dead center, keep it at 3, keep it anywhere. Just keeping the sight anywhere will not guarantee you a 10, sweetie. You asked me, please repeat the last line. Vijay has just asked me. Okay. You can only concentrate on one thing at a time. All the world-class shooters, all the world-class, Manu Bakar, Saurabh, and all this, Yanni and Ragnar and all these great guys, they don't bother about the sights. Once the sights come into the aiming area, the aiming process is mastered. They know 100% that the sights are going to be aligned. It is going to be in sharp focus. And the arc of movement is going to be reduced. The aiming process looks like this. I'll show you. The arc of movement is reduced. The focus is sharp. You can see the sights sharp and they are aligned. This is called as the aiming process. Aligned sights, sharp focus on aligned sights, and arc of movement is reduced. This is the meaning of the aiming process. Now tell me, how many of you know about this? How many of you have been told by our coaches about the aiming process? We'll talk about the perfect shot and the shooting a 10 later. Tell me, use your chat box. Has anybody told you what this aiming process is, have you heard about it now or have you heard about it before? And what the aiming process is all about, please tell me. Has anybody told you this? Say yes or no. Please use the chat box. Sweetie says no, the house to master. No, sir, not so clearly. You see, shooting is a very easy sport. The difficulty is lack of proper communication and coaching by the coaches. Aiming process, you yourself know after watching this video that when the sights come into the aiming area, your trigger hangs or your trigger doesn't break in time because you're more bothered about reducing the arc of movement. Then once the arc of movement is reduced, then you start concentrating on the trigger. Then if the foresight starts shaking, again your mind goes on the foresight. Again the trigger delays. Yes or no? Isn't that what you face? Yes or no? Please use your chat box. Does your trigger hang? Does your trigger freeze? Does your trigger delay? Yes or no, because of these reasons. Please use your chat box. Say yes or no. Yes. Yes. So the key to getting your mind on the trigger, all these top shooters, trigger delays. Yes. Even today, I can pick up my pistol and shoot tens. It's there in my videos. See, when the sights come into the aiming area, these guys have mastered the aiming process. I've just shown you the aiming process. It's mastered. And mastering the aiming process is a method of training. It's not just standing and taking the pistol, hold karo, diwal pe hold karo, 1 ghanta. And what nonsense. You can't do it that way. By holding the pistol in front of the wall, your aiming process is not going to be mastered because because holding on the wall and holding on the target are two different things. What are you achieving in that? You'll only achieve one thing, injury, and you'll finish your shooting career. Like many shooters who have come, who keep talking to me and getting in touch with me. There's a poor boy from Lucknow, 17 years old. He started shooting at the age of 15. He was told to hold bricks. 2 hours he's holding the brick. So when he got the pistol at 17, he spent money, 2 lakh rupees or whatever, 1,75,000, got himself a titanium. The moment he lifts the pistol, it comes down, his hand goes like this. He can't control it. And do you know why that has happened? It's because of holding bricks for hours and hours and hours. He has damaged his nerves. This is what the kind of coaching is. They don't even know what follow through is. Now, I'll ask you a question I asked Divya yesterday itself. What is the meaning of follow through? 99% of the people will say, and I'm sure you will also say, that follow through begins after the shot is fired. This is what has been told to you. That follow through begins after the shot is fired. Yes or no? Please use the chat box. Let's be honest. We are trying to learn how to shoot a 10. We have to first understand what is correct, what is wrong. You have been told that follow through stuff, the coaches, not even in India, all over the world. They keep saying after the shot is won. That's not follow through. They don't know the meaning of follow through. And unless you understand what follow through is, you will never be able to master shooting a 10. And I'll give you an example. Please go on my website, www.foresightshooting.com. Register for the free basic course. The free basic course has about 37 odd videos. And those 37 videos, out of that, 35 videos are purely on follow through. You will understand what correct follow through is. www.foresightshooting.com or just write Hemant Jadhav shooting. It will take you to my website. register for the free basic course, and you will understand what follow through is. Follow through is to continue doing whatever you were doing just before the shot, continue it during the shot and after the shot. Now, I'll give you an example. Okay. Now, for example, the first thing is the sequence of steps. So you start with your position. Okay. So you take a position, you have to be absolutely stable. Now, your stability follow through is the first follow through. Because if your pistol is not stable or steady before, during, and after the shot is fired, your shot will not go in a 10. And stability means this arc of movement. The narrower, the smaller your arc of movement, the more stable your position is. And if when the shot goes, if there is a movement, do you think the shot will go in a 10? Yes or no? Yes or no? Please use your chat box. Use your chat box, please. When your shot is fired, if your sights move, and they move because your position is not steady, will the shot go in the 10? Yes or no? No. So that is the first element of follow through: stability, stance, position. When the pistol sights come into the aiming area, your arc of movement has to be reduced. And if during the shot there is a movement, do you think the shot will go in the 10? It will not. Because if your arc of movement is steady like this, before, during, and after the shot is fired, then the shot will go in the 10. And that is stability. Stability follow through, balance follow through. That's the first part. The second part is grip follow through. If your grip pressure is not constant before, during, and after the shot is fired, if during the shot there is a movement, obviously the shot will not go in the 10. That is called grip follow through. The third thing is breathing. If you hold your breath and just during the shot you leave it, obviously the shot will not go in the 10 because there is a movement. So there is a breathing follow through. Then comes your sight alignment. If before, during, and after the shot your sights are not aligned, during the shot there is a movement, there is no follow through. The sights have to be steady and aligned before, during, and after the shot is fired. If during the shot there is movement, obviously there is no sight alignment follow through. Then comes your focus. If during your shot your sights go out of focus when the shot is fired, where is the focus follow through? Comprises of 8 elements: before, during, and after. Fine. What are the elements which are before, during, and after? These are the 8 elements of follow through. So how do you master these elements? That is correct training. If your coach does not know what the meaning of follow through is, if he does not know the 8 elements of follow through, how in God's name is he going to give you a training program which will help you to master these 8 elements, so that whatever you are doing before the shot, you will be doing it during the shot and after the shot. So do you understand how important follow through is? Do you understand what the meaning of follow through is? Now, use your chat box. Has anybody explained to you follow through in as much detail as I've told you now? Yes or no? And it's not that I'm trying to show how great I am. I'm the least bit bothered about that. I'm trying to explain to you the meaning of follow through, because that is the first step you should know to shoot a 10. Sweetie has said yes. Divya has said yes. If you do not understand the meaning of follow through, you will never be able to master shooting 10. If you don't understand what the aiming process is, you will not be able if you don't understand the aiming process and you don't know how to master the aiming process to make it automatic, so that when the sights come into the aiming area, your sights should be automatically aligned. You should have an excellent focus automatically, and the arc of movement should reduce automatically. When these three things happen, you have mastered the aiming process, and it's only then you will be able to concentrate 100% on the trigger operation before, during, and after the shot is fired. Now, could you kindly tell me how many of your coaches have told you that you should be concentrating only on the trigger feeling before, during, and after the shot? Please tell me. Use your chat box. Please use your chat box. See, Vijaya, Sweetie, Divya, you have come here to understand the meaning of shooting a 10. You are putting so much of hard work. You have invested in more than a lakh of rupees, lakh and a half in pistols. You're spending so much money on pelletins. You're spending your valuable, precious time. Valuable time. You all are spending your precious time, your precious amount of money. You spend so much of this thing. If you don't understand the basics of follow through, the basics of aiming process, and the basics of trigger operation, you will never be able to master shooting a 10. It's a very systematic training. Okay, we only have to feel our trigger. What is it that you have to feel? What is your training plan? What is the training plan that is given to you so that you only feel the trigger? Tell me. I'm not trying to find faults in your coach. I'm trying to tell you that your correct training is important to master all these things. Okay, you have to feel a trigger. Okay, fine. I'm feeling the trigger. Wow, it feels great. Where is the exercise? What exercise do you do to get this on only the trigger feeling? And can you do it? We only have to feel a trigger. That's fine. But what is it that you should feel in the trigger? The trigger is hot. The trigger is cold. The trigger is slipping. Left, right, back, forth. What? What is the feeling in the trigger that you should get? Is correct. You have to feel the trigger. Sight alignment aiming process is automatic, my dear girl. The masters, the great shooters, anybody who shoots above 570, 75 has mastered. He's just looking at the sight alignment the way I'm sure that most of you drive a scooter or hopefully drive a car. Now, when you're driving the scooter, your eyes are on the road. But are you staring at everything? Arey, wahan se kutta aa gaya. Arey, there's a signal. Arey, there's a policeman. Arey, there's this fellow coming the wrong way. Arey, there goes my friend. Hi. Do you do that? No. You're just taking in everything and you're changing your gears. If you're driving the scooter, brake, whatever. Or if you're driving a car, you change the clutch. You're just looking out of the window. That's it. It's the same way looking at the sights becomes automatic, and you just keep looking at the sight, but your mind is on the trigger. And there is a feeling called as the trigger roll feeling. Do you know what the trigger roll feeling is? Please say yes or no. But what is the trigger roll feeling? Those who understand the trigger roll feeling are the ones who go up. I'm going to teach you how to get that trigger roll feeling. But first, I want to know: have you ever heard of the trigger roll feeling? Okay, Vijaya, Sweetie, and Divya, which are the pistols you are using? Please, either the Morini, the Pardini, or the Steyr. Please write down. Okay, you've not heard of the trigger roll feeling, but what pistol are you using? Is it the Morini or the Steyr or the Pardini? Is it Morini, Sweetie? Okay, is it the electronic Sweetie? Which trigger pistol are you using? Is it the 162 EI electronic trigger, or the titanium, or the Model 200? And those who are using the Steyr, is it the Evo 10 electronic trigger or is it the mechanical? Please use your chat box. Sweetie says electronic and she's using the Morini. Fine, very good. Lucky you. Electronic Evo 10E. Okay. What about Vijay? Vijay, you're using a mechanical LP10. You'll. How much do you shoot? I doubt if you can shoot beyond 550. Can you kindly share your best score with your LP10 mechanical? Have just joined 330. That's not bad with an LP10 mechanical. Um I suggest that you get in touch with me and we can speak. If you have my number, you just write it down. It's 937. Please write down my number and speak, and I'll advise you whatever needs to be advised. Obviously, it is not going to go beyond that. There is a technical reason for that, and I will explain it to you. So the trigger roll feeling is something which is very easy but very difficult. Now you must be saying, very easy and very difficult. What is this fellow saying? It's very easy for somebody who's experienced and knows what a trigger roll feeling is to explain it to somebody. But it's very difficult if no one has ever experienced the trigger roll feeling. And believe me, those who have not experienced the trigger roll feeling are never going to ever going to go up. You want to go up, go into the Indian team or shoot 570 plus, 570, 575, 580. You have to master the trigger roll feeling. Nobody is going to tell you this. I will show you how to do it. I'll just take a break. Why are you all shooting 40 shot matches? Do you shoot 40 shot matches in practice? Who has told you to shoot 40 shot matches in practice? I know I've already spoken to Divya. She told me that her state matches are all 40 shot. And it's not only in India, in Germany also, in other countries, Lithuania, Iraq, Iran, everywhere people are shooting 40 shot matches. Do you think 40 shot shooting or practicing in a 40 shot match is correct? Yes or no? First of all, tell me, are you only practicing 40 shots in your training? Yes or no? Please use your chat box. Yes or no? Are you only practicing 40 shot matches? Okay. No. Currently, yes. What about Sweetie? Do you know if you wish to become, do you want to become international shooters? Yes or no? Do you want to become international shooters? Yes, good. Sweetie says yes. What about the others? Obviously, all of us want to become international shooters. All right. You know, have you ever heard of Carl Lewis or have you ever heard of Usain Bolt? These are Olympic 100 meters, 200-meter gold medalists. What if Carl Lewis says, instead of practicing for the 100 meters, I'll run only 25 meters or I'll run only 60 meters? I'll practice only 60 meters. Does that make sense? No. If you're going to practice only 40 shots and at the national level you're going to shoot a 60 shot, what sense is there in practicing for 40 shots? Do you know that for those who are practicing in the 60 shot format, which is the normal format, nobody in the world, any international matches are not held over 40 shots. You have to shoot a minimum 90 to 120 shots. And anything between 120 to 150 per session. Okay. And you will have to do 3 sessions per day, nearly 450 to 500 shots per day. Can you believe it? If you want to become an international shooter, this is what the Indian team does. Are you aware of it? And you are practicing only 40 shots. It's not possible. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to help you to help you to achieve your goals, not trying to criticize you. I may be a little harsh, but I'm trying to explain to you that you must understand what the meaning of follow through is, without which you will not be able to shoot a 10. If you do not master follow through, you will not be able to shoot rows of 10s, 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 10s. In order to master follow through and in order to so my advice to you, the first thing is understand what follow through is. Go on the website www.foresightshooting.com and understand the meaning of follow through, and then give me a call. Sir, I have understood what follow through is, what I should do next. And I promise you that if you follow my training modules, you will at least shoot in the top 20 in the selection trials. Provided you work and train the way I'm telling you. So, how do you shoot a 10? I've already told you. It's impossible for you to concentrate on the trigger operation because your mind goes on the sights, as shown in the video. Actually, there are many more videos here, but I find that y'all are not understanding, or you're not even mastered follow through. So in the next webinar, every month I will have a webinar for shooters like you, and I will show you how to shoot a 10, how to master the follow through, how to master the aiming process, how to master the automatic trigger operation. If you have any questions, someone was asking me a question here. I think it was Divya. Any questions you have? Yes, Divya said, how do you practice the holding for reducing our arc of movement? That is given in exercise number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 7B. In module number 3, training methodology. In training methodology, module number 3, see, there are 5 modules. The first module is free. Okay, that's my contribution to the shooting world. Module number 2 explains to you the theoretical aspects of the technique for shooting a 10. And then module number 3 is training methodology, where you actually start working on the training of how to make your aiming process automatic. In module number 4, after you've mastered module number 3 and your mastered aiming process, you go into automatic trigger operation. Do you know what automatic trigger operation is? When you've mastered your aiming process, the sights come into the aiming area, your trigger starts moving automatically. You don't have to work. It happens automatically. And you shoot a 10. Then you have to learn how to keep your mind focused 100%. So when the sights come into the aiming area, when you're squeezing the trigger, the only thought in your mind is squeezing the trigger. And now you know that even that is not easy, because If you have not mastered the aiming process, your mind will go on the aiming process. Sometimes the thought will go something else. Now the shot is going to come. The shot is going to come. The shot is going to come. Your mind jumps to the shot. Unfortunately, there are other shooters who have this fear. Oh my God, am I going to shoot an 8? Am I going to shoot an 8? Will I shoot a 10? These thoughts have no place when you are squeezing the trigger. 100% trigger operation. How to do that? I will show you. That is explained in model number 4. Okay. Sweetie says, what should be the correct standing position? Very simple. It's in the free basic course, www.foresightshooting. Free. Free. Should the feet be parallel or the right feet should be turned towards the target a bit? This question is answered in, I think, video number 4 or 3 or 4 or 5. It is explained to you perfectly. Any other question? You have my numbers. If you have any doubts, please give me a call. It's any other question? So my last this thing is go on www.foresightshooting.com or Hemant Jadhav Shooting, and you'll be Google will take you straight to www.foresightshooting.com. Register for the free basic course. You have my number. You have any difficulty, give me a call. Melvin, that's an excellent question, but please give me a call. That gives a very detailed answer. It can't be given in just a few seconds. I need to know what your diet is, whether it's a non-vegetarian diet or vegetarian diet, and before the match, what kind of diet. You see, the diet plan is very important. Before a match, what your diet should be. Before every practice session. All right. I don't think anyone is interested in joining me in the room. If anyone is, I'm giving you 1 minute to click on the request to speak button. Okay, Divya, go ahead. Please click on the request to speak button. Or you can type your question. You're most welcome, Vijay. Most welcome, sweetie. Yes, Divya, go ahead. Okay. Please click on the request to speak button again. Sir, my elbow has started to hurt while lifting the dumbbell. What should I do? Oh my God, please give me a call. Please, sweetie, please give me a call. I'll tell you exactly what to do. Because this is a very serious injury. Before it gets too serious, give me a call. I'll help you out. Yeah, Divya, tell me.
Sir, our coach said that before match you should not eat spicy food, then that which affect our match. So it's true or not?
It's absolutely true. Who is your coach?
So he's an army retired coach.
Very good question. Very good answer. Do you know why you should not have spicy food?
Because he says that it increases our blood pressure, and like it increases the rate of heartbeat.
Yes, that is correct. But most
That's why
important,
he said that we don't have to eat spicy food before the match. If you like, you are having a match around 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
yes, he is absolutely 100% correct. And the other reason is when you have spicy food, it increases the blood pressure. Yes, and what happens is that the blood is see when we are shooting, we need 100% concentration. This sport is of 100% concentration. We need the blood to be here, not in the stomach.
Yes,
It should be entirely here, and that is why I advise people forget about spicy food, forget about non-vegetarian food. 2.5 hours or 2 hours before the match, you should avoid eating anything, just anything light, milk. Take it to the shooting range. You can take your nibu pani or something, electrol
yes,
powder.
sir. We should do that.
Yes, because if you keep your stomach not completely empty but sufficient that you don't feel hungry, otherwise again your mind gets diverted to the stomach.
Yes, sir.
Just sufficient, then your blood will come here instead of going there. He's right. You got a good coach. Any other question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. All right.